I started playing a musical instrument from 5th grade, and I started with the trumpet. And almost immediately, I was consumed with being good at it. I didn't just want to play. I wanted to really be able to contribute to music, to a band, be part of something bigger. And for anybody that's tried something new, which is really all of us, it's really self-defeating. To start at something, you suck. You're just not good at it. And getting beyond that to work through discipline and time and exercising patience to get to a point where you feel even mildly good at something. I don't know how specifically it was I got through all that, but I stayed busy. I stayed practicing so much that I got booted out of the house. Oftentimes I would be outside in the backyard at night in my ugly shorts and my Airwalk shoes, my denim jacket on. I've got a picture of this, playing trumpet, just trying to get better, trying to be good at it. And I remember by the time I hit 7th grade, I was outpacing my instructor, with chromatic scales. Learning those scales was really, really important to me. It's just a fundamental part of being able to play music. And he taught me a really important lesson. I was just telling a friend of mine about just this last week that he had told me to not just spend time doing things that I'm good at, but to spend time doing things that I'm also not so good at, things I need help with, which was definitely a new concept for me. And it's hard to do. One of the first things you want to do when you finally get good at something is keep doing it, because you finally get to feel that feeling of fulfillment, expression, something that any artist out there would know. You know how that feels. It's incredible. For some of us, as we progress in our artistry, that feeling can almost be self-limiting, where you find yourself concentrating your time and energy into whatever that niche is, whatever you're really, really good at. And maybe not always applying that discipline and time to things that you're not quite good at too. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but even if you do, there's this tendency to be disproportionate about it. And in turn, as you look at your artistic growth as a whole, you see that disproportion happen, where what you're good at, you continue to get good at, and what you're not good at, you only get a little better at. So your tendency to go back to those things that you need help with stays low. This, as I look back to how long I've been wanting to do this project, and it's been a long time, far before I ever approached Madeline about it, it was really meant to be a chance to do just that. The same thing that my instructor had told me to, which was apply time and attention to things that maybe you're not as good at, things you should improve on. And from a visual perspective, not being a dancer, part of that was learning videography. Now, there are some definite parallels between the still world and the moving, but even just learning how to work through the program, the learning curve is really steep, and I avoided it. And I know for myself that really the only way to fully give anything a shot in my heart and in my world, because it's the only way I know how to function, is to fully submerge myself in it. I literally have to be head to toe, completely saturated in what I'm doing, which really, in the end, means you got to make a lot of mistakes. You've got to be able to do something and step back and go, I'm not really happy with the way that turned out. But from a true artist perspective, you also have to say, well, why? Why is that? How could I be better? And not use it as a way to cut yourself down, but just as a way to say that these are opportunities for growth. This is how I can get better. And if you can develop that in the way that you think and approach your artistry, whatever that is, dance, imagery, painting, it doesn't matter, where you can see those flaws as opportunities and not use them as ways to cut yourself down, which can be so easy to do, cut yourself down, right? The growth is almost exponential, but you have to keep doing it. And this improv project, regardless of which side of the camera you're on, is really intended just to be a chance to put yourself out there and say, maybe I don't normally do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. And just like I have with everything else in my art, I'm going to put everything I have into it. That's what I see happening. That's my goal. That's what I want out of this project. And anybody that's in it, that's what I want for them too.